Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. Got your questions here from spring.me/Aaron Rift. A lot of people have been asking me about WWE's creative direction, and I got a number of questions here. This first one comes from Static Infamy. Hey Aaron, at this point, which is the biggest problem with WWE? No talent or horrible creative decisions that end a superstar's popularity. Many guys had the fans behind them, but did they book them in filler matches instead of striking when the iron is hot? The talent in WWE is not the problem. There are a lot of very talented superstars in the WWE, both on the main roster and in developmental and NXT. The number one problem with WWE right now, in my opinion, is the creative direction. I feel that from a creative standpoint, WWE is at their lowest point since the mid-1990s, 93, 94, 95. I think the company as a whole is out of touch, and they've been relying for too long on the same ideas, the same format, relying on the same people, and not taking enough risks. Trying to think outside the box is something that I feel WWE needs to do. They need to shake things up because right now, WWE is definitely in a popularity decline. You look at the television ratings. This week, Raw did its lowest rating of 2014, and it was one of the least watched shows since 1997. And when you look at the network numbers, those have been disappointing. There's just not that much hype and excitement about the WWE product right now. And I've been running NoDQ.com now for 16 years. And when I look at website traffic, it's clear to me too that there's just not that much buzz about WWE. And it's cold. It's a cold product right now. And I really feel that they need to change the creative direction. They need to take more risks. They need to give wrestlers more opportunities, more creative freedom, start relying less on scripts and allow them to go out there and make it or not, sink or swim. Give these guys a chance and come up with fresh ideas. Stop relying on the same storylines, the same formats. Stop relying on the same people and do something different. That's what WWE needs to do, in my opinion. And I'm really hoping that they can turn things around in 2015. And, when you look back at the mid-1990s, WWE was struggling, and they had to change. They had to go in different directions. They had to try different things, and that's what they did, and we had the Attitude Era. I don't know when that point is going to come, when WWE finally make some real changes. But yeah, if they don't, I just see business continuing to decline going into 2015 and beyond. All right, this one comes from Baller W Shades. Hey Aaron, why did Eric Rowan lose at TLC? I guess they gave it to Show since he interfered in the next match, but where does Rowan go from here? The fact is, I honestly never expected Eric Rowan to get this much of a push. I figured when they did that comedy angle with him and Renee Young that was going to be his direction, and he was just going to be a mid-card heel. So when he came out and turned face and joined Team Cena, I was a little bit surprised by that. I didn't think he would get that much of a push. I expected Harper to get a decent push, but Rowan, I thought, of the three Wyatt family members, would not go that far. So when he did get that push, I was surprised, and I did expect him to win at TLC. I figured that WWE would do a IC title feud between Eric Rowan and Harper, but as it turned out, Harper lost the title, so there was really no need for Eric Rowan to beat Big Show, especially if they're going to have Big Show face Roman Reigns, and Show was going to put over Reigns. So when you look at it from that perspective, it made sense for Big Show to win Eric Rowan. But for Rowan to lose again on Raw and then lose on main event, it's a sign that WWE really has no plans for him to be in a significant position in the company. All right, this one comes from OMCN36. Hey Aaron, do you think it is weird that Kane is still wrestling in slacks and dress shoes since his gimmick as Corporate Kane is over? I think it's kind of silly. I totally agree with you. The Kane character has gone beyond stale at this point. It's clear WWE has no idea what to do with that character. And I just think that Kane has been played out as a character. There's really nothing else you can do with that character. And I got another question here from WWE fan Dark Arrow. Hey Aaron, when do you see Big Show retiring? Same with Kane. I really do feel that both of those guys should consider retirement and calling it a career. Same with Mark Henry. They've been around in WWE for so many years now. They've gone through so many character changes. Big Show has turned heel and gone back to babyface how many times now? At least 24. It's ridiculous. And Kane has come close to that number. Kane has gone back and forth between heel and a face. He's had the mask. He took off the mask. He put back on the mask. He became Corporate Kane. It's just gotten ridiculous how many times these characters have changed. Now, I know it's important to evolve a character, but with Big Show and Kane, I mean, it just seems like WWE changes the characters constantly because they don't know what else to do with the character. But as far as retirement goes, I mean, that's going to be a decision that those guys as individuals will have to make. And I think for all three of them, they will probably continue to work in WWE until they're physically unable to do so. Just because as long as you can make the money and keep doing what you enjoy doing, why stop? But yeah, I think at some point, all three of them need to step away. Either they need to just walk away or WWE needs to just phase them out. And, there's really no point in having those three guys around when you don't have any good creative direction for them. All right, I'll be back in a moment with more of your questions. All right, next one here comes from Chris Mace 39628. Do you think it was predictable with the Jericho versus Paul Heyman match that Brock Lesnar was going to come out and attack Jericho? And why did Cena not come out to fight Lesnar? Yeah, I suspected that Brock Lesnar would come out for the Jericho-Paul Heyman match because, Brock Lesnar was advertised for that Raw, so everyone expected him to be there. It was the post-TLC show, and WWE was starting up the build for the Royal Rumble. So if you knew all that, then it was very predictable. If you weren't really paying attention to the reports that Brock Lesnar was going to be there, then maybe it was a little bit more of a surprise. But still, it was very predictable for Brock Lesnar to come out and save Paul Heyman. But I was perfectly fine with that angle. I enjoyed Brock coming out and destroying Chris Jericho with the F5. Good way to reintroduce Brock Lesnar as the WWE champion, have him take out Chris Jericho and get the heel heat. Why John Cena did not come out? That's interesting. It seems to be a pattern here in WWE where John Cena does not come out to aid his fellow babyfaces. We saw that prior to Survivor Series. Where was John Cena when the heels were beating down Cena's team? He was nowhere to be found. So I don't know why WWE doesn't have Cena come out. I mean, I'm guessing because they wanted to save John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, that confrontation for the very end of the show. But logically, when John Cena come out to help somebody in need, especially go after the guy that he's going to be facing at the Royal Rumble. So I don't get it. It's another booking flaw by WWE. Just not really thinking things all the way through. I mean, that's really all it is. All right, this one comes from Young EZ. Hey Aaron, I thought the end of the Ambrose versus Wyatt match at TLC should have been the Ascension debuting and attacking Dean and giving Bray Wyatt the win. It was rumored they wanted to put them with Bray, and this would have kept him relevant, but not bury Ambrose. Your thoughts? I totally agree with you. That would have been a far better finish than what WWE actually did with the TV. And maybe at one point, WWE was going to put the Ascension with Bray Wyatt, but maybe they changed their minds and then came up with the TV angle. Whatever the case is, the TV angle was very weak. And I would have rather seen somebody interfere on behalf of Bray Wyatt. And you could have had Bray Wyatt with a new teammates and have a new Wyatt family faction. They could have done something like that. So I'm not really sure what WWE was thinking with that. If they were going to have that finish where Dean Ambrose was gonna get blown up by the TV or whatever, why put that match on last? I mean, I think people are happy about Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose, that idea of them being in the main event, but you really want to end your pay-per-view on a high note, and with what they did in the John Cena Seth Rollins match with Roman Reigns coming back. I mean, that really should have been the end of the show. That should have gone on last, with Roman Reigns making his big return to close out the show. All right, that'll wrap it up for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Tell a friend about No DQ&A video on Facebook or Twitter or any other social media site. And make sure you keep voting in the 2014 NoDQ.com year-end awards. And I will see you guys next time for more No DQ&A video.